What's up, KFG crew and KFG Kings? This your boy bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I will give you guys my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and go follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And also go check out my AEW Double or Nothing review and highlights. It's up on the channel. Show that video some love and comment and share the video. But enough of that. Let's get to AEW Dynamite review and highlights. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show. That's all I gotta say. It was just a good show. Um, just a few days after the event for AEW Double or Nothing pay per view, AEW will deliver a star-studded episode of AEW Dynamite on June 1st. CM Punk, MJF, the Hardys, and other noteworthy names will be on the show, which will be Dynamite's debut in Los Angeles. Alright, so we get first match card. So we get CM Punk and FTR versus Matchcaster and the Gun Club. Austin and Colton Gunn with Billy Gunn. This match was fine for what it was. This was fine. Alright. Dax Harwood and Austin Gunn start the bout and fill each other out. Harwood gains the upper hand and tags Cash Wheeler, and they double team Austin. The Young Gun tags his brother, who takes the fight to Wheeler. A big back body drop and a dropkick helps Wheeler take control. Max Caster enters the match and gets double teamed by Wheeler and Punk. Caster lands some blows, but he winds up getting triple teamed by Harwood. Dax fights his way out of enemy territory, but Austin drags him back and works with Colton to isolate him. Max Caster tags in and Irish whips Harwood into the corner. Billy Gunn lands a cheap shot when the referee isn't looking. Harwood rallies and tries to tag out, but his partner gets taken out by their opponents. The Guns hit him with a double flapjack. Max Caster and the Guns keep dominating Harwood, but he reverses with a German suplex. Both men are down after a double clothesline, and Harwood finally makes the tag to CM Punk. The new AEW World Champion clears house with a fury of offense. He launches Wheeler to Colton and Max Caster at ringside. CM Punk hits a diving elbow drop, but Billy distracts him and helps Austin get a 2 count with a roll up. CM Punk power bombs Austin into Billy, and the GTS/Big Red combo clinches the win. The winner of the match, CM Punk and FTR. Now this match was good, fine but good. I'm saying this was a good match, good tag team match. All right. CM Punk celebrates with FTR after the match. He grabs a mic and raises the title. He says he never done drugs, but he imagines this is what it will feel like. CM Punk makes it clear that there's still a long way to go, and he has a lot of work to do. He says his road to success is littered with mistakes, but he's gonna learn and get better. Harwood says it feels that good to do the things CM Punk hasn't done. Harwood says his wife and his baby girl are the only things that mean more to him than wrestling. He refers Cobb and O'Con attacking FTR and says he'll beat them up. CM Punk brings up New Japan Pro Wrestling and says, Forbidden Door, show me who I got. Hiroshi Tanahashi comes out and stares down CM Punk. Alright, so we get the in-ring segment, MJF. This was a good segment by MJF. I really enjoyed this segment. The salt of the earth comes to the ring and says he's in a lot of pain after he lost to Warlow at AEW Double or Nothing. He He says he'll talk, but this is MJF's friend, Redman talking. He points out that the Warner Brothers Discovery exclusive are here, so he wouldn't want to embarrass his boss. MJF says Khan has been trying to things out with hash things out with him for a while, but it's too late. He says when this company started was all friends wrestling, so he had to write his own ticket. But he has great pen penmanship, so he made his own moment. MJF says no one is on his level. Everything he touches turns to gold, and he hits Grand Slam on a weekly basis. He says everyone else can be great, but he had to be perfect because he's the only one who can carry this company, and he has. He says he hears boos and clapping. He wonders where those fans were when they were calling him unprofessional. MJF says everyone in the back wants his spot and they can't have it. He says he doesn't want to be here anymore. He calls the fans uneducated fans and says they don't know. He tells them their opinions suck and they change at the drop of a time. He says fans have argued that he sucked at wrestling because he's not like their favorite. MJF screams that he's the best and he's the only one who makes them feel and doesn't have to do a bunch of bulls to get them there. He says he's a generation talent and says that says the fans and Tony Khan can take him for granted. MJF says he's the second biggest minute for minute draw in this company. He accused Tony Khan of not paying him, a guy who's been here since day one and paying ex WWE guys who can't lace up his boots. So he was taking shots. So he was taking shots at WWE. He wonders if Tony Khan would treat him better if he was an ex WWE guy. MJF says the only position Tony Khan should have is behind the guard rail. He says he wants Tony Khan fired to him because he doesn't want to wait until 2024. He cursed Tony Khan out and the show fades to a commercial. All right, let's move on. Now that was a good segment by MJF. That was a good segment. I really enjoyed it. But anyway, let's continue. So we get Johnny Elite versus Miro, and I must say this was a quick match. In a pre match promo, Miro says it's been a long time as he been thinking, waiting and healing. He says he will return to AEW to help his fellow man, the Bastards, the Punk, the Cowboys, and the Penguins, and he will redeem them. He says he will fight his way to heaven, and his heart is broken now. He wants to take over the kingdom of heaven. Miro and Elite fill each other out, and the powerhouse truck him over trucks over him with a lariat. He drills Johnny Elite with stiff strikes and overwhelms him. Johnny Elite tries to fight back, but Miro slams him to the mat. The Redeemer suplexes Elite and blasts him with a headbutt. He slams Elite to the mat again. Elite rallies with a roundhouse kick and a furious of offense. Miro fires back with a thunderous super kick and makes Johnny Elite tap out to the game over. The winner of the match, Miro. Alright, in-ring segment, Jericho Appreciation Society. The Jericho Appreciation Society discussed their win and the archery in the in the arena match. Angelo Parker tells the AEW Galaxy appreciate us. Jericho discussed the pain he suffered in the match and wonders what kind of a man burns another man. He calls Brian Danielson a piece of trash and says he not here tonight. Jericho says Daniel Garcia will choke John Moxley out in the main event because sports entertainers always wins. Eddie Kingston interrupts and he's accompanied by William Regal. Eddie Kingston says he'll fight all of them right now. William Regal says Kingston wants to fight them in a blood and guts match. Jericho says that will never happen, and the Appreciation Society attacks the Mad King. Ortiz sneaks up behind Jericho and lays him out and cuts his card. Jericho says his hair is worth more than Ortiz's entire assistance. He accepts the challenge to a blood and guts match. He says he wants Jericho versus Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. Ortiz accepts the challenge. And okay, a video shows the aftermath of Samoa Joe's match at AEW Double Nothing. Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Sai attacks him and targets his injured shoulder. Alright, so we get there. The Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Haluko versus Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, and Darby Allin. Alright, this was a this match was quick. Alright, well, yeah, Kyle Riley and Jungle Boy start the bout. Fish tags in and gets double teamed by Jungle Boy and Cage. Hardy tags in and double teams Fish with his former rival. Matt Jackson tags in and takes a series of strikes from Cage. He plants Jackson with a DDT for a 2 count. Jungle Boy sends Bobby Fish crashing onto the floor with a Hurricanrana. All 10 men start brawling. Darby Allin and Jurassic Express dive onto their opponents outside the ring. Christian Cage gets invited to a super kick party and the Young Bucks take control. The Undisputed Elite and Hikalu gang up on Christian Cage. Luchasaurus makes the hot tag and clears house. Jungle Boy gains more momentum with a destroyer. Hikalu ends the sure by catching a diving Darby Allin by Matt Hardy. Takes control by doing the delete head slam to all of his opponents. Christian Cage catches a big man with a missile drop kick. Matt Hardy and Christian Cage clotheslines him out of the ring. The Young Bucks super kicks Hardy, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy. Nick Jackson pins Jungle Boy with a mental driver. Okay, the winner of the match, the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Hercules. And it says Christian Cage seems frustrated after the match and pulls Jurassic Express away from Hardy. They leave him alone in the ring. In an interview, Swerve Strickland introduced some of his friends. He referenced to history of Kobe and Shaq, who came together to achieve greatness. Keith Lee says anyone will swerve in their glory. Athena comes to the stage for an interview with Tony Khan. She says she's part of the elite women's division now. And she brings up Jade Cargill. Athena says all streaks were made to be broken, and she vows to break Jade Cargill's. Cargill's cuts her off and says, "I'm that you know what." So struggling Hathaway calls Jade Cargill a queen and a goddess. Jade Cargill says the title shot isn't happening today. Kira Hogan gets in Athena's face. Anna Jay and Chris Allen comes to the stage and inside with Athena. The two trios argue until they get separated by officials. All right, so we get Warlow versus JD Drake. This was a quick match. Warlow blasts JD Drake with a lariat and drives him into the corner with a shoulder tackle. He slams JD Drake to the mat and powerbombs him twice for the win. The winner of the match, Warlow. Mark Mark Sterling comes to the stage with a security detail and serves him with a class action lawsuit on behalf of the American Arena Security Professionals. He says he'll see Warlow in court. Warlow attacks one of his guards, rips up the contract, and shows it in his mouth. Backstage, Dan Lambert says if Dante Martin does everything right, he'll eventually be as good as Scorpio Sky. The champions make it clear that he'll beat Dante Martin on Rampage. Martin interrupts and says he thinks he's better than Sky. It's now he'll prove it on Friday. Alright. So we get Dr. Britt Breaker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. This was decent. This was a decent tag match. Britt Baker and Tony Storm begin the bout. Storm takes the fight to Baker with a series of strikes. The former champion leaves the ring and grabs her own Heart Foundation Women's Tournament Championship. She posed with it before she gets back in the ring. Back in the ring, Tony Storm rolls up Baker for a 2 count. Ruby Soho tags in and gains the upper hand. Baker makes a blind tag and slams Ruby Soho onto the apron before she hits her with a neck breaker onto the floor. Baker and Jamie Hayter isolates Ruby Soho and continues to control the match. Ruby Soho gets a 2 count with a backslide. Jamie Hayter pulls Tony Storm off the apron, but Ruby Soho floors Baker with a Sato suplex. Tony Storm tags in and gains the upper hand with a furious of offense. She hits a swinging DDT, but Jamie Hayter plants her with a slam onto the floor. Britt Baker drops Ruby Soho with a sling blade at ringside. Britt Baker blasts Ruby Soho with a thirst kick. Jamie Hayter hits a backbreaker and tags Britt Baker. Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter brawl at ringside. And Ruby Soho nearly wins with a roll up. Ruby Soho hits the no future, but Britt Baker goes for the lockjaw. Ruby Soho escapes, but Britt Baker drops her with a neck breaker. Jamie Hayter accidentally gets in Baker's face, and Ruby Soho gets another 2 count. Ruby Soho hits the destination unknown for the win. The winner of the match, Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. This was a decent match, decent tag match. Jamie Hayter attacks Ruby Soho and Tony Storm with the title. After the match, Baker stands tall. Alright, so we get Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. Alright, this main event was I'm gonna say this was alright. This was an alright main event, but it was just like solid main event. Okay, Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia, solid main event. Moxley and Garcia fill each other out. The the purveyor of violence and Red Death trade blows. Garcia headbutts Moxley, and both men goes crashing to the outside. Moxley is bleeding, and Garcia sends him into the steel steps. Red Death kicks the steps while they surround Moxley's leg. Daniel Garcia continues to target the leg, and Jon Moxley has been busted wide open. The former AEW World Champion reverses a leg lock and gets some breathing room. Daniel Garcia hits a back superplex for a 2 count. Jon Moxley slams him hard onto the steel steps and takes control. He hits a modified superplex, but Daniel Garcia versus the rear naked choke. Jon Moxley counters a choke attempt by Daniel Garcia and locks in a armbar. John Moxley gets a 2 count with a inside cradle. Daniel Garcia suplex John Moxley and drops him with a pile driver for a 2 count. The two-man trade strikes. John Moxley tackles Daniel Garcia onto the table, but Chris Jericho runs to the ring. John Moxley eyes up him, but Eddie Kingston takes Jericho out. John Moxley hits the Paragon Shift and gets the win with the Bulldog choke. Alright, it says the winner of the match, John Moxley. Alright, after the match, John Moxley says he's in the Blood and Guts match, which is announced for June 29th episode. And AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Alright. AEW Dynamite was a good show. I really enjoyed AEW Dynamite tonight. It was a good show. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, please give this video a big fat thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you won't miss not a single premiere video or when I go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I'll talk to you guys later. This your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. KFG crew, KFG Kings. Too sweet to everybody. And now I'm out of here. Peace out, guys.